Hey, it's all about quality, not about quantity. Right? Let's get back to another round of Brewsday Tuesday with DreZ and Big Nate.
I'd say that is on par with this one. Definitely quality. Don't need quantity when you got some big old ABVs like we're drinking here on Brewsday Tuesday. Brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six-Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. I see the bottle cap. I feel like I need to get it because not only do we need to put it into the growler there that holds the things, but it does say, I don't know if you looked under yours, barrel aged under the bottle cap, the Founders bottle cap there. So obviously Founders, they don't put that under just any old bottle cap. This is the KBS series. If you're familiar with it, you know. If not, well, it's amazing. It's the amazing, actually, Cosmics KBS. So Founders, it's a barrel-aged bad boy here. I got the chocolate cherry Imperial Stout. As we've mentioned, it's aged in bourbon barrels. Oh, here we go. I got a synopsis. I'll read this for you right now. Our flagship bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout shows off its more romantic side with the KBS chocolate cherry. The rich sweetness of chocolate and slight coffee bitterness. You had me on one. Blend perfectly with the brightness of cherry juice to bring you an alluring sensory experience perfect for cozying up with your sweetie. This was bottled on 12/5/22.
Ooh.
So, like most beers of this caliber, ages well, I would certainly expect, and we'll find out.
Does yours have a skull on the front of it? Under the KBS?
Under the KBS on
the front?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
I just noticed the skull for the first time.
Yes. I've got the blueberry. See, we are getting in the Halloween spirit.
I've got the Blueberry Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels, of course. This one, I think a little more distinct than yours. This is the celebrating 20 years of KBS. So my little reading on the back, a little bit different. It's time to celebrate 2 decades of barrel aging Imperial Stouts with KBS Blueberry. In honor of the 20th anniversary of KBS, we've given this legendary beer a dose of Michigan blueberries. Apparently, they have a lot of blueberries in Michigan. The alluring aroma of dessert brings you in, while layers of vanilla, coffee, chocolate, oaken bourbon barrel notes become more profound with every sip, a sweet and sophisticated tribute to a world-renowned beer. Bottled on July 10th, 23, 11.2% ABV.
I was going to say, so it's because mine was last year.
Yeah.
Yours is this year.
I do. So blueberries and cherries, interestingly, are 2 fruits that I love the taste. Hate the actual fruit. Cherry is one of my favorite flavors, particularly cherry cola.
Yeah, I do. I do love cherry.
When
but
it comes to an actual cherry,
I think we've been over this before, but I mean, a maraschino cherry, that's
not a cherry.
I can do that all day. You're talking about one where you got to spit out the pit and do all that crap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really mess with those
That's
either.
too much work.
It is. Who wants to do all that? So yeah, I do feel like maybe I should have stuck with my gut and gave you the red label to match your shirt, as I mentioned off the air. I feel like I might enjoy yours better. It sounded more alluring. Blueberry, what did it say?
Blueberry vanilla, which perfect combination.
Yeah. Cherry chocolate, it's like, okay, but this was coffee bitterness. See, I feel like this is going to be a bit more of a bitter.
But you like bitter. Hops, baby.
I don't like bitter coffee. I don't like bitter when it comes to the stouts and stuff. I want them to be more sweet.
It does intrigue me that you don't like coffee. Because that feels like a natural extension. Do you like grapefruit?
Nope.
All right, well, that tracks. I love grapefruit. So we're riveting citrus talk.
Yeah. No, all right. Well, I want to talk about something else because I had an interesting weekend. Me and my baby, we went to get a car. Got a nice new car. You even saw it. You drove by it. It is gorgeous.
Based on looks alone.
Beautiful car.
Great buy.
2020 Ford Escape, new to us. Obviously, it's a couple years old, whatever. It's got all these bells and whistles. You know, the big thing she wanted was Bluetooth capability. Just for perspective, she's been driving around in a 2007 Honda CRV. So, you know, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure if we get something, it'll have Bluetooth. But we mainly wanted to get this model because it can be flat towed behind the RV, which is cool. But also, we found one that it's like the higher end series. It's all wheel drive, the titanium. You know, it's got all the
If you have to
bells and
change
whistles.
tires, change all four at once.
Apparently, I've heard, and the color. She liked the color. Everything was looking good. And we were talking with the people back, and then I come to find out that, sure enough, the manager there is one of my good buddy's brothers. So then, you know, he gets involved. He helps out. We get it to the price that we can actually afford, and we go and we get it, and it's awesome. Seems like a great car.
But
Guess what happened?
oh no,
Guess what happened?
I noticed it wasn't in the driveway this morning. What happened?
Last night, as we were driving, I was actually following BB, and I'm driving. So her parents are in town.
Mhm.
So her mom is with her and the driver's in the passenger seat. Her dad is with me in the passenger seat, and we're driving. This is in the nighttime, and we all know what happens in the nighttime around this area.
No.
I see a deer on the side of the road near me, and I was like, oh man, damn deer. Like, thank goodness he's just over there. And then I come around the bend and I see BB's flashers are on.
Oh,
And
no.
she's pulling over, and I'm like, son of a bitch. We had this car for 2 days.
Oh no.
And I would say she hit a deer, but no, the deer hit her. The deer just ran into the side of her car.
I've had that happen before.
Exactly. They do that. They're stupid.
They're really dumb animals.
So poor thing, you know, we pull over, and I immediately I come up to start looking for damage. I'm like, where did it hit? Whatever. And then I noticed that she's like just crying because I think, and she later got the story. She immediately was just angry, just got sick of a storm. And then it hits her that just like my brand new car is just ruined. So yeah, this damn thing just ran out and just ran right into her car. So thankfully it ran into the back end on the driver's side. So nothing, you know, under the hood got messed up or anything. It's all cosmetic, but there's some dents, there's some scratches, it's not as pretty as it once was, but it's still drivable, which is good. So when we can get around to getting it fixed, you know, we can get it fixed. But
what do you do in that scenario? Like, I don't know, because it's been a while since I've bought a car. I mean, immediately you have to insure it, correctly?
we already had insurance. We had insurance the day of. The day we bought it, I was on the phone with my guy.
So
shout out to Joe Carmer State Farm.
What you run into is a scenario where the damage isn't enough to be more than the deductible, so you feel like an idiot.
No. Well, what you do is you get full comprehensive.
Yeah, on a new car, I guess you would. Yeah.
I'll get it on everything, man. Look at, no joke. If you don't have full comprehensive, ask your insurance person. It's probably worth it because chances are a deer around, especially around here, a deer is going to run out, a raccoon, a possum, whatever. It's going to mess up your car. It's not your fault, but you're not going to want to pay that. Or a car kicks up a rock. Like I actually had on our CRV, we had full comprehensive. We were driving down the highway, rock kicked up, put a big old, or not even a big, it started, it was just a little spot. And then next thing you know,
splinters.
Yeah. And then we needed a whole new windshield. Guess what a whole new windshield costs? It's worth it. You pay the extra, I don't know, $10 or something for comprehensive, it's going to be worth it because chances are, I mean, if I don't know what it is, where if I could just drive and if I don't mess up,
Yeah.
I would sign up for that all day. But you have to make sure that you are covered for whatever else that might happen. So thankfully, it should all be good. We're dealing with all that right now. But damn,
That sucks.
2 days. And it was so funny because we got the car and we went to pick up her parents at the airport. And as I was driving, I was driving her car, whatever. That's what I like to do usually. And there was a deer on the side of the road. And I was just like, oh my gosh, could you imagine? And we were both just like, oh, that would be the worst. Well, and then the next day,
Cruel twist of fate.
Sure enough.
Well, I mean, it sounds like right now it's a 2020 Ford Escape, but once that part's fixed, it's a 2020, 2023 hybrid.
2020 and a half, whatever. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Now, honestly, they might be able to just buff it out. And I mean, it was all dense except for there was a crack. Like it hit hard enough that there was so I don't know. We'll get it. We got to go and get it all.
Did the deer walk away?
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. So I was following her. So I saw the deer. I just thought it was a deer on the side. I just thought there was a deer near the road. I was like, oh, thank goodness it's over there and it's not in the road. But no, the deer hit her car and then stumbled off out of the road. At least I had the wherewithal to get the hell out of the way before I hit it too.
Not doing that again.
Gosh. It is so funny because ever since BB moved here, every time, you see deer a lot. And I always just say how much I hate deer. And she never understood how much I hate deer until now. And she's like, I get it. I know why you hate deer.
So I don't know if you know this. Maybe people in the listening audience don't know this. In Australia, they don't have deer. Kangaroo. And that'll really screw up a vehicle.
Well, because they probably just start fighting it too. Yeah. I mean, kangaroos are jacked.
They'll get hit, and then they'll just start wailing on it, break your windshield.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, like, I'll take deer any day over a kangaroo.
Yeah. I would feel bad. It's something about a kangaroo. It's because it's the foreign aspect. You don't know it. You're like, oh, that's cool. You live around it all the time. It's a nuisance.
You're just annoyed with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
But you have the full comprehensive.
We should be good. We'll get it sorted. It'll be fine. But yeah, that was a bit of a damper. A bit of a damper last night. But what are you gonna do?
I think Alanis Morissette's currently writing a song about that exact scenario.
It was only slightly ironic. It was a bit there. But either way, so that was part of my, I'd say, weekend, but that was just the icing on the cake. You get a little bit of that, but otherwise,
it was pretty Hokies victory.
We got a Hokie win. Yeah, that was nice. And in fact, so I had to go do the tech game. Her folks got in from Scotland, and they went to the Highlander Festival.
We just left this,
and I will say this: the true Scots enjoyed the Highlander Festival. So that's I think that's a stamp of approval. Honestly, they had a good time. They were sending me videos and pictures, and they bought some stuff from the, vendors and whatnot. So I'd say that's about as good as high as a compliment as you'll get. The proper Scots are there and they like it.
It's always one of my favorite events in the New River Valley. I'm kind of bummed we didn't get to go this year because my mom was down and we were celebrating Eve's 3rd birthday. But I always love it. And it's so primal and unnecessary, but I love the Highlander games. Like, just,
oh, of course.
Why is it so entertaining? I don't know. It's like that same aspect like pro wrestling. It's just, I could never do that, but look at her throw that hay back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we can't go down the pro wrestling. I got a whole nother story about that one. But all right, here's what we got to do. We got to untap these beers, which, by the way, as I mentioned, I know we've done the Founders KBS. We must have done it on here.
I think you're right.
This is a different level. The cherry chocolate. I was jealous that you had the blueberry. Not anymore, man. This goes down. It's so smooth. And it's just what I was talking about. It's got the barrel age. It's also nice and sweet. I'm not getting the bitterness that they were talking about. It's not super bitter. This is just icing on the cake. Maybe it's that 1050, 12% already
being more
not
generous.
feeling generous. It very well might be, but this is a 5 as well, man. This is just a fantastic beer. If you get down to the cellar and grab you one before it's gone, I recommend you do so.
I think this one, I've got the KBS Blueberry. I think this one's, I mean, it's like candy.
Mm-hmm.
It's such an easy drinker. And I don't know what it is. Vanilla, for whatever reason, when it's added to a beer, always kind of kicks it up for me. I am also going to mirror yours and say congrats on 20 years to founders in the KBS series and give it a 5.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Damn right. Damn right. It was a delicious round, man. A lot of good beers, a lot of good big beers, all dark, all stout, all phenomenal, and all available down there at our fantastic sponsor, the Cellar Restaurant and Six-Pack Store. Shall we?
We shall.
What shall we? You were going to say something. I was going to wrap it up. I thought you were going to want to say something.
I mean, 5s from you for 2 stouts is pretty killer.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, when it comes to a stout, it's not that hard to win me over. I've been over the parameters many a times. So those are the only ones I really buy.
It's fair.
I'm not drinking just the typical Guinness. Nothing wrong with the Guinness, except for
only on St. Patty's Day.
I'll do
and
that.
It's got to be actually Irish, not Canadian.
Now we're getting into it. Not Baltimorean.
Yeah.
Or that's
None
probably
of that
not the right
nonsense.
saying. Either way. All right. That's a wrap on Brewsday. We'll take a quick break. Oh, I know we mentioned on the last round, we were talking about Halloween a little bit. I think we're going to have to delve into the pumpkin beers because I did notice a number of pumpkin beers were still available at the cellar. So I got us, I think probably, all right, what's today? So we have 2 more Tuesdays?
We'll have Halloween and then we'll have next Tuesday. So yes.
Well, Halloween is, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Halloween
2
is
more.
on a Tuesday.
So, all right. So we got to switch to pumpkin beers because I got probably 2 shows worth of pumpkin beers
right.
out of the cellar because there's no shortage of them. So 'tis the season. Go get you some. And we'll call this a wrap because I can't keep talking on the radio. We'll let JT take over. He's coming up next after the break. More tunes right here on 105.3 The Bear. I'll see you.